Being transracial is when a white person identifies as a person of color who's not actually a person of color. Now, the reason why a lot of people are doing this is for financial gain, and some people are doing it for notoriety. Like, for example, Rachel Dolezal got a free scholarship to go to college by pretending to be a black student. Shaun King also got a free scholarship from Oprah by pretending to be a black student. Elizabeth Warren also did the same thing. When Elizabeth Warren was going to college in the 1970s, she wrote on her application that she's an Indian Native American. And she was able to get a free scholarship by pretending to be Native American. So there's a lot of benefits to being a person of color in America. And a lot of people are taking advantage of this by pretending to be something they're not. Shaun King makes millions of dollars a year pretending to be a black activist. He gets millions of dollars a year in donations pretending to be a black activist, pretending to be a black leader. So he's doing it for financial reasons. But Shaun King is not black. Shaun King has two white parents. If you look at his birth certificate, he has a white father and a white mother. But you have a lot of people in the social justice warrior movement that still want to claim him as being black, because the basis of their movement is based on him being black. And if people find out he's not black, he's not going to get those donations anymore. Shaun King is a race hustler. He makes his money off race hustling. He doesn't give a damn about black people. He cares about making money off black people. So I just want to encourage people to stop going along with these fake leaders that are trying to make money off black people's struggle. Now, in Martina Biggs' case, this is a white woman who changed her skin color black. Now, she's not claiming to be a black leader. She's not claiming to be a black activist. She's a woman that just likes the look of black women, and she wants to become a black woman. She's not doing it as a race hustle. She's doing it because she thinks black women are beautiful, and she wants to be a black woman. I think this is completely different than what Shaun King is doing and what Rachel Dolezal is doing. I think Martina Biggs is just a woman who likes the look of black women. So she started taking these injections to make her skin darker and darker and darker. And as you see her today, she looks like a dark-skinned black woman. And she says she's going to get plastic surgery to make her nose look more like an African woman. And she's traveled all around Africa doing charity work. She's donated millions of dollars to charities throughout Africa. So in her case, she's not doing it for a money hustle. She's doing it because she likes the look of black women. She thinks black women are beautiful, and she wants to look like a black woman. I don't see anything wrong with what Martina Biggs is doing. As long as she's not identifying as a black woman, and she just wants to look like a black woman, I don't see anything wrong with what Martina Biggs is doing. What she's doing is completely different than what Rachel Dolezal has done and what Shaun King has done and what Elizabeth Warren has done, because they're using it for financial gain. They're using it to get notoriety. Rachel Dolezal is making a lot of money. She has a Netflix show. She got millions of dollars from Netflix. She also wrote a book. She's making all this money pretending to be black. When Rachel did an interview on the talk show The Real, it took them 40 minutes to get her to admit that she's white, because she kept denying that she's white. But it took them 40 minutes to get her to finally admit that she is a white woman. Now she says she's white, but she identifies as black. This is the premise that she goes by now. Now, people can identify with what they want to identify with, but in reality, you're not black. In reality, you're not a person of color. It's the same thing with transgenders, too. You can identify as a man or a woman, but in reality, if you were born a woman, you are a woman. If you were born a man, you are a man. You can identify with whatever you want to identify with, but in all reality, you're not a woman and you're not a man. Your gender is what you were born with. A lot of people say they can just change their race or change their gender. You can't just change this biologically. Now, if you want somebody to refer to you as a man or a woman or a race, that's different. But biologically, you can't just change your gender or change your race. This is why the whole transracial, the whole transgender thing, I think is going too far. Now, I notice most people who are transracial are white liberals. Most people who are transracial lean left. Because in today's far left political landscape, it's socially unacceptable to be white. You look at how the leftist media demonizes a white person just for simply being white. You can't wear dreadlocks. You can't wear a certain hairstyle. You can't use this type of word. You have white privilege. If I were a white person living in today's society, I would probably identify as a person of color, just to avoid all the hatred that the media preaches towards white straight people. And it's gotten to the point where it's ridiculous. I'm a black person, and I'm telling these white people that it's okay to be white. You don't have to hate yourself just because you're white. But the liberal media keeps pushing this anti-white rhetoric as if it's inherently evil to be white. Don Lemon went on his show and he said, white men are terrorists. White people are they are the biggest terrorists in America. Whites are the majority of the population, but make up less than 20% of the crimes in the country. So this ridiculous notion that all violent crimes are committed by white people is completely ridiculous. The majority of homicides in America are actually black men killing other black men. As black men, we're only 6% of the population, but make up 50% of the homicides. That's the real problem with violence in America. This is why I'm always speaking against black on black crime. I get called a coon for talking about this, but this is the real problem. It's not white men. A very small percentage of black people are killed by white men. This is why anybody can be a pro-black leader nowadays. All you have to do is go on social media and blame everything on white people and demonize white people. And most people will donate money to you and look at you as a black leader like they do Shaun King. Shaun King knows exactly what to say to make money off black people's struggle. All he has to do is preach victimization, preach white supremacy, and he's going to get that money. And Rachel Dolezal did the exact same thing. Rachel Dolezal actually became the leader of the NAACP in Washington. Any white liberal can be a pro-black leader. All they have to do is yell about white supremacy and demonize white people and blame everything on white people. And you can be a pro-black leader and make money off race baiting. This is why a lot of black people need to stop falling for this bullshit. As black people, we need to start being accountable for our own actions and stop trying to blame everything on white people. And stop looking at every person who blames everything on white people as being some type of hero or some type of savior. Shaun King is not a savior. Rachel Dolezal is not a savior. This is why a lot of white liberals have become hip to this, because they know all they have to do is blame everything on white people, and a lot of these dumb Negroes will look at them as a savior, will look at them as a black leader, even though they're not black. This is how ridiculous victimization has become on social media. This is why I don't go along with the woke Twitter mafia on social media and Twitter. These people have gone completely insane. So I just want to encourage people to start thinking logically. Stop thinking emotionally and start thinking logically. A lot of people have different opinions about this topic. Leave a comment, rate, and subscribe.